The next component to speed is the mental component. We don't just want to train our athletes to run in a straight line fast all the time. We also want to expose them to being able to react quick, then run, being able to respond to an outside stimulus or cue, or force them to pick their head up and anticipate the next play. So I'll link some fun reactive speed drills in the caption below that are going to help your athletes to really hone in on that mental component so they are fast movers and fast thinkers. And that's another problem I have with ladders is athletes are always keeping their head down. They're not aware of their surroundings. So when we're training top speed, I want them to open up the posture. I want them to have their head up because that does help them get a step ahead of their opponent. So I really want them to be aware of their surroundings and keep their eyes on the finish line. The ladders just force the head to still be down and in that kind of slouch posture. When we want to train max speed, we actually want to have good posture and open up our chest, open up our shoulders. Otherwise, if we're slouched and hunched over, that's only going to make us a few steps behind. I'll include some reactive drills in the caption below. And as coaches, as parents, you can get really creative with them. You can have an athlete sprint on your clap. You can have an athlete sprint when you raise your hand. You can have an athlete sprint when you throw something out. Or if you're training with a partner or in a group, you can have an athlete chase someone in front of them and the person in front initiates the drill so that it makes it more chaotic and spontaneous. I mean, there's so many ways to go about this, but we want to challenge our athletes to think more than they are in their team practices. We want to challenge our athletes to pick their head up and keep their head on a swivel more than they are in their practices. And sometimes we do some very fun games from the 90s, even with my older girls, just to get them used to keeping their head on a swivel. We've played handball in a very small and tight space, and we've made it super chaotic. So they have to constantly be thinking and aware of what's going on and anticipate the next play. We've also played dodgeball. We've also played capture the flag. I mean, there's so many ways to do this that train that cognitive component to speed. And really, really think about this because you see a lot of speed training online where it is super rehearsed and it is just a young kid running through ladders, then going to the next cone and then maybe doing like a hop over something. And it's like, what are we even trying to train here? They know what's next. It's very rehearsed and robotic.